Hey friend. Yeah. So we're responding to a stitch that I did with another creator, and I'm going to be putting it on my YouTube channel with a link to the OC's video in the description box. And basically, I'm sorry I forget her username right now because it's the first time I've seen her on my FYP. But bottom line is, she's like, y'all, just because I might look good when I'm having fun time when I'm out doesn't mean that I'm always like in pain and feel like absolute hot garbage. And because people associate disability and illness with like what we can like physically deduce by like observations, if we don't see it, it must not be there. This would be, honestly, I'm pretty sure this is why I loved that Mr. Snuffleupagus and Big Bird bit on Sesame Street for as long as I did when I was a kid, because yeah, that's a therapy session. Anyway, okay, so things that I've done during anaphylactic reactions and Behçet's disease flares, fibromyalgia flares, EDS flares, MCAS stumps. I'm not recommending anyone else do this. I'm just letting you know, if I'm having chronic anaphylaxis every single day, because we're still trying to find like the right medication cocktail, because for every MCAS patient, it's going to be different. And for every chronic illness, you got your own issues, you've got your issues to figure out, right? So I respect that, and I understand that, and I've learned, because my daughter, we're both autistic. Neither one of us is actually like willing to like cry uncle before canceling plans or something, because Monty Python walking, Flush Wound Night, and Spanglish. That's basically how we were raised. But did you die? I think I've done a rather fair job of helping her learn how to advocate for herself a lot earlier than I did, because I just went through life thinking that all the crap I was going through was completely normal. Had no idea that I have, on top of the autoimmune and chronic illness that I mentioned, I'm also allergic to latex, coconut, poinsettia, avocado, banana, existing hormones. I'm allergic to everything. And you guess you want to know what? I have quite literally taken my dogs for a walk after taking my rescue medication in the middle of an active blizzard when it was minus 30 in Minnesota, because the dogs got a walk and we don't have a backyard. Okay, so that happened. Not because I was like, hey, you know what, this would be a great idea, but because there is nothing else that I can do. Life goes on. And my body has to try and sort of keep up with it. When we were at the Mayo Clinic this past summer for all of our diagnostics, my daughter and I went for intensive evaluation for everything that we were diagnosed with in the EDS and the fibro clinics, including having my MCAS verified by blood tests with crazy high leukotriene levels, which leads to increased or contributes to increased levels of inflammation, the leukotrienes. Yeah, my tryptase is fine. It's my leukotrienes that hate me. And guess what? I'm not taking anything for anti-leukotriene inhibitors or leukotriene inhibitors, because I'm allergic to them. But this is why it's called invisible illness. Just because, and like invisible disability, people look at me and are like, you're not autistic. People look at my daughter, and depending on which setting we're in, they're like, she's not autistic. she's hyperlexic. She's 2E. She's twice exceptional. She's been reading since she was 15 months old. She said mama when she was 6 weeks old. She doesn't just stare at rocking in a corner, organizing her train set. All the stereotypes that, so-and-so speaks, put together for their, campaign against autism to make it all look like mom's fault because refrigerator mom, when all this crap was based on male brain theory and everything. For crying out loud, that's a completely different tangent, but the point being, invisible illness, invisible disability, all this stuff is real, whether or not you can see it, okay? Like whether or not you can see it. I can be walking my dogs and I can be going through a fibro flare. I can be walking my dogs and actually have to concentrate on every single step to make sure if my collagen is not behaving, and have to make sure that I concentrate on every single step so that I am not overextending my knees, so I don't hyperextend my knee, so that I don't just forget to stop my footing where I'm supposed to so I can take the next step and not fall flat on my face because my legs turn to jelly and my collagen turns to jelly. There's a reason that I usually, when I wear a hat or I have a headband wig on, and there's a reason that I usually cover the tips of my ears, because my collagen doesn't collagen anymore, okay? Part of that is related to EDS. Part of that is related to a condition I have called Behçet's disease, which is an autoimmune condition which causes your body to attack its own blood vessels and can lead to everything from blood clots to including CVTs and DVTs to seizures to strokes to even loss of blindness and hearing. And I can't figure out, because I've been looking and I'm really good at researching, but so far I haven't found confirmation that it's always a temporary thing. I don't know. I have no idea. None. But I'm going to be out of for seizures soon. Do you want to know what happens when I wake up after I'm passed out from a seizure at home? Yeah. The dishes, take the dog's potty, go to bed. Make sure I medicate, then go to bed. Rinse, lather, repeat. Whether or not you can see if a friend, a loved one, a neighbor, the stranger across the street who you've at the store, or the stranger at the store, at the mall, at the restaurant, using a cane, or who's parked in a handicap spot and has the placard and everything, and you're like, but they look like they're just fine. Or they're using the scooter at, Target or any other major department store, which I have on occasion on my really bad days when I'm like, yeah, standing's not a good idea right now. It is not, you are not the invisible illness police. Not them, I'm with them. It's called invisible illness for a reason. And the faster that people actually get this, the easier it'll be for everybody. Because the amount of energy that all the doubters out there who are all like, y'all are faking, you're just trying to get attention, you're trying to scam for money. Check my bank account. No, I'm not. God. Don't assume. You know that thing they say about never assume a woman is pregnant unless she's literally pushing the baby out right then and there. Don't assume a person who is chronically ill and is using some kind of mobility aid or is using any accommodation they need to increase their quality of life. Don't assume that nothing's wrong with them. Ask them if they need their help, if they need your help. Empathy is what we need, not to be questioned, because we get enough of that shit from our doctors. We don't need it from perfect strangers. Have a day.